Hello, welcome back to teleSUR English. Venezuela's Foreign Minister Yvan speaks at the 52nd regular session of the Human Rights Council taking place in Geneva. Let's listen.
February, we commemorated the 34th anniversary of the anti-imperial rebellion of the Venezuelan people against the bourgeoisie. There was terrible repression against our people on that day, causing over 4,000 casualties in the framework of what has been globally known as the Carcasso. The systematic violation of human rights occurred in our country prior to that. So we pay homage to all those who we carry in our hearts, and it's thanks to them that we have built a state based on the rule of law and justice as enshrined in our constitution. Vice President, 2 years on from the COVID-19 pandemic and its impacts on all spheres of life, we can see the deep inequalities and exclusion which persist throughout the world. This has been shown through the unequal access to vaccinations and the unequal enjoyment of the right to health. Venezuela has vaccinated all its target population. We have mitigated the effects of the pandemic despite the problems posed by the imposition of criminal, illegal and punitive unilateral coercive measures against our people. This block our access to inputs, medical inputs, equipment. We have been the targets of over 900 unilateral coercive measures and other criminal impositions, either directly or indirectly. This is a deliberate effort to destroy our economy and to bring about regime change. This is a flagrant violation of international law. $232 million have been retained by other countries. This is a crime against humanity and which is being brought before the ICJ. This is the follow-up to the colonial policies of the hegemonic powers. They wish to expand on the backs of fake news, trying to criminalize governments. They have launched failed assassination attempts and failed regime change attempts. Alisab is unlawfully detained in the United States. He is an accredited diplomat. He is facing an unfair trial in the United States. The Council should make a statement on this case because this is a most egregious violation of human rights. Vice President, this Council, through its resolution, has on a number of occasions condemned the imposition of unilateral coercive measures. They have disproportionate human costs. And the Council, through the Special Rapporteur on the impact of UCMs on human rights, has made it quite clear in her reports of the negative effects of these measures, as has the current and previous High Commissioners. Nevertheless, Venezuela continues to make strides towards our economic recovery with over 15% growth in GDP last year. This was the highest rate of anywhere in the Latin American and Caribbean region. Thanks to sound public policy, we have managed to ensure appropriate food supply to our 30 million inhabitants. It is correctly distributed thanks to our local production distribution committees. For the first time in 25 years, we managed to produce over 18.4 million tons of food, and we handed over 500,000 new houses. So over 4 million free houses have been provided for the benefit of over 20 million people. we hope to achieve 5 million houses by 2025. Also in 2021, we implemented over 40% of social protection programs through the Patria platform. This has benefited people without any discrimination. Volker Turk visited Venezuela this year at the invitation of President Maduro. This visit took place in November 2022. There was a most transparent meeting with our authorities' social movements. It led to the signing of a 2-year cooperation and technical assistance agreement in the area of human rights between our government and the High Commissioner's office. This shows Venezuela's absolute will to further strengthen our human rights system, respecting the principles of sovereignty and non-interference in the domestic affairs of states, which is established in the United Nations Charter. In the same constructive spirit, we have extended an invitation to a number of special procedures mandate holders to visit our country. We are waiting a response. They will have a chance to see the country firsthand. Nevertheless, a number of special procedures have committed irregularities, such as the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, which regularly abuses international law with political attacks on Venezuela. We had a successful third universal periodic review in which we reiterate Venezuela's resolute commitment to human rights. In 2022, we defended 2 reports to human rights treaty bodies, and we're preparing the review of 2 other reports this year. 75 years on from the proclamation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and 30 years on from the Vienna Declaration and Programme of Actions, we reject double standards which continue to undermine the work of certain sectors in the Council. There are too many mandates instrumentalizing human rights. They have high costs for the office, money which could be devoted to technical assistance and cooperation. There are mandates which criminalize countries of the global south. Venezuela's action in the Human Rights Council will continue to strive for the promotion and protection of human rights in our steadfast commitment to peace. We resolutely call for strengthening the institutions of the Council, to stop politicization, to reaffirm the universality, indivisibility and interdependence of human rights, with everyone being treated equally without double standards. Human rights are often used by hegemonic countries to justify war and intervention, but they have committed some of the worst violation of human rights. Promoting, protecting and ensuring human rights are essential values of the United Nations. They cannot be used as a pretext for more violence and more violations. This would be an unacceptable sacrilege for the people of the world and for peace, which is what all humans are calling for. Venezuela sticks to peace, legality, the full respect for safeguards and the full enjoyment of human rights. Thank you very much.
And we were listening to Venezuela's Foreign Minister Yvan, who addressed the 52nd regular session of the Human Rights Council taking place in Geneva. The minister referred to the improvements in human rights and social policies achieved by the Venezuelan government, despite the hostile actions or sanctions and advances by the US and other Western powers, and called it as an evident human rights violation. Hill stressed Venezuela moves forward to an economic growth, ensuring a proper food supply to its population population and enhancing local production to sustain food self-reliance. Hill also referred to Venezuelan assets held in foreign banks, which prevents the South American nation from accessing key resources as food, vaccines, and other supplies. The Venezuelan diplomat rejected double standards discourses on human rights worldwide, as it overlooks human rights violations by imperialist powers. At the same time, it prompts smear campaigns against other nations and circumstances. We will have more news in upcoming news briefs. Stay with us.